Thank you once again for making Locked On Cougars your first view and or listen of the day. Appreciate all of you for being with us. Of course, here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. All right, I had a chance earlier this week to catch up with two BYU football players who I think will have roles to play in this game. They may not be starring roles, but I hope that they have an opportunity to make an imprint on it. And the first one I want to start off with is with Viliami Po'uha. He actually told me he likes to go by Vil. So Vil Po'uha, V-I-L, is a guy who grew up a Utah guy. Remember, Sione Po'uha, who's now BYU's defensive tackles coach, was an absolute star for the Utes. Went on to a very productive career in the NFL, then got into the coaching ranks, coached back at Utah for a few years before retiring, and then ultimately, after a year hiatus, joining the BYU staff. What does Vil Po'uha expect to experience now that he's on the other side of the rivalry from where he grew up? Well, good thing you asked. And we're going to get to that conversation right now, right here on Locked On Cougars.
Now, it's a big week this week, obviously, Utah week. Your dad was a legend at Utah. I know you were committed there before your mission and everything. Do you have any divided feelings on this week, or are you all in with the Cougars?
I'm all in with the Cougars. This is my family right here. I have utmost respect for them and their program, and I bet they're going to bring it their all, but so are we. I'm excited to meet them this Saturday.
How excited are you to play at Rice-Eccles Stadium? I'm sure you were there. You've watched games there and everything. How excited are you actually be on the field there playing?
This is probably the first time I've ever been like a player. Like before my mission, I always thought I'm gonna play here on this field.
Yeah.
But I didn't know I was gonna do it as a Cougar. Okay. But I'm pretty excited. This is my family now. This is my journey. And at the end of the day, they're just another team that we got to play as a brotherhood here. So yeah.
Now, I know you're a kid who grew up in the state, so the rivalry probably holds a little different feeling for you than maybe some of your teammates are from out of state. Do you have friends up at Utah? You guys have been talking back and forth about this one at all?
I definitely have some friends and people that I know up there, like Logan Fano. The Fano brothers, They're pretty cool. I played them in high school. Dallas Vakalahi, we're good buddies before the mission. Yeah. We went to a mission prep together, and there's definitely more of the guys over there, even the coaching staff. A lot of them have been to my first birthday party when I was born. All right. But yeah, those are the type of relationships I have up there.
Is it like when you guys talk, is it good natured, like back and forth? You banter back and forth about it?
Of course, it's family. It's family. But when it comes time to play the game, there's got to be a winner and a loser. And we both have the same goal.
Now, you guys are on a pretty good run here. You're 8-0, obviously. And I've talked with enough of your teammates, and you guys really, you're laser focused on the one game at a time. Utah's a little bit different feeling, obviously, because it's the rivalry. Does it have any added, I guess, motivation from the coaches being heaped upon you guys, or are they really saying, no, this focus here and now on this game?
You know what, they just constantly been saying, stay humble, stay hungry. If it's been working this whole year, no need to change it, but let this be another fire, just to get us to hone in on our craft to win.
Now, they're in the middle of a slump here. They've lost 4 straight games. They're going to be potentially playing 1 of 2 quarterbacks. Does that change anything for you in terms of your preparation?
No. All I got to do is just watch film with Coach Pop, watch film with my dad, make sure I'm honing in on my technique, and nothing changes.
You got some established guys in front of you in the pecking order, like Tyler Batty, who's been here for quite a while. How big of a role have they played in helping you develop?
Like they've probably been the most help to me. Like they've been like the bigger brothers that I never had because I'm the eldest in my family. I just have the most love for them, and when they say for me to do something right, then I'm obviously going to do it right. I love them so much, and yeah, I just try to do what they say and just learn from them.
Now, when it comes to those guys also being in-state guys, have they talked to you a little bit about playing? Like, Tyler's one of the few guys who's actually played in this game, because it's 3 years ago at this point, the last time these two schools got together. Has he talked to you at all about that?
They just said it's a lot of fun, it's going to be loud, and there's going to be a lot of emotion in there, so just keep it calm, keep it composure, and just play the game.
What about cold weather? Are you ready for a cold weather game?
I've been in Utah all my life, and on the East Coast too, so I'm used to this cold weather. Okay. But yeah, I'm ready for it.
I guess it'd be the first time this year you guys have had the colder weather.
So
that doesn't change much?
No,
just go out and play ball, right?
Oklahoma State was pretty cold.
That's a good point, yeah.
But yeah, they got a lot of stuff on the sideline to keep us warm. But yeah, we're ready. At the end of the game, at the end of the day, we're all excited. We're all busy trying to win.
I guess last thing for me, do you have like a memory of this rivalry that stands out more than others from watching it, etc.?
I just remember when my dad was coaching at Utah. We played here at Lavelle Edwards in 2021 where BYU won, and then I was wearing red. I was like, man, this sucks. I never want to lose to these guys again, but it's kind of cool to be on the opposite side to wear blue, and we're in their house now, and hopefully we get to come out victorious.
Well, I guess in theory, now that you're wearing blue, you have that opportunity to not lose, I guess.
Yeah.
There is Viliami Po'uha. The big thank you to him for taking the time. And it is kind of funny that he could be a guy after he watched the 2021 game, like he said, dressed up in red and white and black as a Utah fan, to be on the winning side once again, crazily enough. But looking forward to that. Now, another guy who I think is going to, play a role in this game. Parker Kingston has been a major impact guy for BYU. Remember, who can forget that punt return against Kansas State? Well, I sure couldn't, because I asked him as part of this conversation about that punt return. But more importantly, talked with Parker a lot about this rivalry, what it means to him as a guy who grew up in northern Utah, grew up in Layton, played for Roy High School, is an absolute star there. Well, what does he expect from this matchup? And was he on one side or the other of the rivalry growing up at all? Well, all that and more is covered right now with Parker Kingston.
Your kid grew up in this state, so rivalry this week. What does it mean to you to play in this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. It's a crazy game. I mean, I was never a fan of either team growing up. I actually always wanted BYU to lose. So now being on like the other side, it's cool. And when I went to 2021, when I watched that game, it's surreal. So it's gonna be a fun experience.
Now we've talked with the coaches. I know K-Pop said that there were like 9 guys. I think he said that raised their hands that actually had played in that 2021 game. Yeah. So very few of the guys on the roster have played in it. Does that add anything or change anything about the dynamic of it?
I mean, not really. I think we're just trying to keep it as another game on the schedule, not try to blow it out of proportion. I mean, just do what we've done all year. And I think if we do that, we'll handle them and we'll get the win.
Like I said, you grew up here in Utah. Can you speak to just how big the rivalry is? I know that the fan element's one thing, but you guys as players, you grew up with guys playing in like 7-on-7 leagues. They're on the other side. How different is that for you guys?
It's like it's kind of like high school over again, kind of. You're playing all the guys you played in state. I mean, like Smith. I ran against Smith in high school. Like, it's just, all the guys, Fano. It's crazy. So it's gonna be fun.
Speaking of a guy like Smith, because he's a slot corner. You looking forward to being able to go one-on-one with him?
Yeah, I'm happy. I can't wait to go one-on-one with him.
And I guess the other thing is, do you talk with those guys at all into the lead up to this game, or do you say, hey, we'll talk afterwards?
Yeah. No, it's more afterwards. I mean, we'll talk during the season or say what's up, just how's it going. But it'll probably be more after the game, before the game. I don't know. It's going to be probably, I don't know. It's going to be crazy.
I can understand that. We were talking with Coach Roderick, and we asked him the question about, like, hey, you guys are ranked 9th in the initial rankings. Has it been a discussion? He says you guys haven't even discussed it at all. No. I know that you guys are aware of the rankings out there, but does it change anything for you guys knowing where you're actually placed in the playoff rankings?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think it changes anything at all. We're not really worried about where we're ranked. We're just worried about the next opponent that we're playing, and whatever happens at the end of the season. So
that focus has been a kind of a hallmark of this team. Where does that come from?
I would say it started off in the off season, just focused on the task at hand, not worrying about the results, not attached to the results. And I think it's just carried on into the season. The coaches preach it, everybody preaches it, so I think we just focus on that.
Has it been difficult at points, though, to keep that focus on the game, or has it been a pretty easy thing for you?
I mean, it's never not hard. I mean, like, obviously it's hard to sometimes look, like if we win, like we're going to the big, like whatever. But I think it's like once you're in the game, you're focused, and every week you're real, like you see your opponent, like, we got to go get them to get to where we want to be.
Is it a bit surreal to think that you guys are 8-0 and you're ranked in the top 10 in the country?
Yeah, it's cool, but like it's not what we want in the end of the season. So, I know that teams like this lay out goals ahead of the season. Was there ever talk about, hey, we can make a magical run here at all? I mean, yeah, every season there is. You have a goal. Like, we want to go undefeated. We want to go to the Big 12 championship, college football playoff. Like, we had all those goals, so now we just got to beat each team that are in the way of getting in the way of our goals.
Speaking of on the field, are you happy with the role you've taken on? Kind of, you're a slot receiver, but you're also taking on a special teams, an outside role on special teams. Do you like the dynamics that you're able to add to this offense, I guess, special teams as well?
Yeah, I love it. I've always wanted to do punt returns. Then when I got the shot last year, I was super excited. So, I mean, it's terrifying. It was terrifying the first time I ever went out there, but it's fun. It's fun just being alone back there, right? You're the only guy, and you just want to go do your thing, get the ball in space. So it's been fun.
You say it's terrifying. Is it more like just the thought of the pressure of the moment? Is that?
Yeah. When I first, like my first time going out there last year, I was like, just don't drop it. Like, I was so nervous. And
don't muff it.
Yeah. But now I go out there. I've caught so many balls. It's just secondhand nature to me. So.
You're a pretty dynamic athlete. I want to take you back to that punt return against Kansas State. What was your mindset when initially? It's like, oh crap! Like I muffed that.
Yeah.
What was your whole mindset on that whole thing?
I was just hoping that I got a
good kick just right back into my hands. I mean, I'm used to fielding ground balls. I played baseball all growing up. So it was just popped right in my hands, and I turned around and guys were falling. I'm like, holy crap, this could actually happen.
You puked on the sideline.
Yeah.
How tired were you?
I was exhausted. I felt like I ran a 200-meter in high school.
Well, it's about what you ran in reality, and you were at top speed the entire time.
It was super tiring.
Have people continued to kind of bring up the fact that you threw up on the sideline on national TV since then?
Yeah, they've called me Parker Kingston. It's fans, they love it. The fans love it. So,
I guess the last thing for me is you look forward to this game. Did you ever play at Rice-Eccles?
No, this will be my first time. So
what do you understand about the dynamics of playing on the road in a rivalry of this magnitude?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything. I've never been a part of it, but I know it's going to be crazy. I know it's a rivalry game, so it's going to be even more juiced up. So, and a night game in the state of Utah, it's going to be crazy.
Is the excitement factor like an all-time high for you, though?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. It'll be fun.
There you go, Parker Kingston. A big thank you to him for taking the time to join us here on the podcast. And these conversations I have with these guys, I absolutely love having an opportunity to talk with them. And more importantly, I just want to give a shout out to the players, the coaches, and more importantly, BYU Sports Information, Kenny Cox, Brett Pine, those guys. They do a really good job of what they do, and appreciate them connecting me with these players. And it's really fun to kind of get their insight on stuff, because they're the ones ultimately that make the plays. We talk about it all the time. Coaches call the plays, players make the plays. And I know that the coaches get an unfair, credit and also blame, but players also share in that, because they ultimately have to make the plays out there that make winning plays. And it sounds like both Viliami Po'uha as well as Parker Kingston, they're fully intent on being 9-0 come late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. And I, for one, cannot wait for this to go down. I love the rivalry. I know there's a lot of Cougar fans out there. It gives them angst, anxiety. It's not your favorite week. I get all that, but I really do enjoy it. I've enjoyed it my entire life. It probably comes from the fact that growing up, my best friend during my junior high and high school days, even up until my mission, we're still pretty close to this day, the dyed-in-the-wool Utah fan. Ben and I, we had some epic back and forth about BYU and Utah, and just the fact that we had a genuine friendship and we're just really, really close friends. I think that's why I enjoy the rivalry as much as I did, because I had a fairly overall positive experience in terms of the rivalry from an early age. And I know that's not typical for a lot of you out there, but I really do enjoy the rivalry, and looking forward to seeing how this game goes down.